Hey everybody, it's Kim Dankey coming to you live from the SHIBBOLETH studios in Kennesaw, Georgia, and I have on a new shirt, SHIBBOLETH. It's a secret. I like it. I am happy to be here tonight. Tonight we are going to go over our lifestyle overview, because in my head, when learning this program, you really just need to know how to do it. How am I going to do this? Yes, there are other things that we need to venture into, like why am I going to do this? Why do I keep going at this? Why is this important? Why do I make bad decisions when eating? You know, those are totally different things than how do I do this program. You need to know how to do this program, and then we also have to dig into those other things. But learning the how is so important, and that's what we're going to do this week. This week, this is a 1-week group. It's in Facebook. It's called the New Member Fast Track. If you aren't in that group already, please ask to be in that group. And every single day, a little post comes out, and that post tells you what to do. Like there's a little list of things, like make a list of your 10 favorite lean proteins, your 10 favorite fibrous carbs. Because if you don't take yourself through these activities, how are you going to learn to do this? Nobody is just handing you a meal plan. We can come up with a meal plan for you and with you on a mentor call, but you need to know how to do this on your own with the foods that you like, okay? So that's what this group is all about this week. By the end of the week, you will be able to take your fast track test and you'll get your very first badge, okay? So that is our goal this week. The fast track group is designed like an electronic textbook. It is not a group where things are going on in it all day long where you won't be able to find what you need. So go to the very bottom of that group and just read all those posts, and then every day you need to go in there and check for the post. Don't assume that you will get the notification that a post came out in that group. Just know that you've got to go to that group and check it out. I would think when you pick up your phone in the mornings and you check your texts and you check your Facebook and you check all that, go into this group specifically and look for that post, okay? So that's important to do. I gotta write myself a note, hang on. And so do that for me, all right? And because that's how you're going to learn this lifestyle. So I'm going to just go over a few little things for you with you. If you are, please tell me hello in the chat room. And I would like to know if you are new or if you're here for a refresh and where you're from. Please tell me that in the chat room. I normally ask that first. Today I just started right in to my stuff. Hey, good morning. I mean, not good morning. Hey, Rose and Lisa and Marissa and Michelle and Danielle and Deborah and DJ and Gwen on Facebook. Hello, everybody. Okay, Monica is from Lawrenceville. Monica, are you new? And oh, I meant to tell you this. In the chat room, please set your chat where it says to. Set it to all panelists and attendees. All panelists and attendees. Awesome, Alicia. Hey there, Alicia. I heard that you went by the Shibby Shop. I'm excited you did that. Today was day 2. She's from Villa Rica. Monica is starting tomorrow. That is awesome. Okay, Donna is here for a refresh from Florida. You are in the right spot for a refresh. That is awesome. Kelly from Canada. Awesome. It's Shannon, new. Tried to start last week, but need more assistance. I understand. Donna's been around about 2 months. Good. And Mary Holt, okay, you're my cousin's friend. Awesome. Glad you're here. And yes, the Shibby Shop is a great place to get some fun goodies. Cindy Lewis, new, starting tomorrow, lives in Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's awesome. And Mary, and she is new as well. Well, if y'all are new to using Zoom also, when you chat, make sure your chat is set to all panelists and attendees. Right next to that to word with a colon that says, it should say all panelists when you start, and there's a little drop down arrow. Click that and change it to all panelists and attendees. That way, if you have a question, everybody can see what you have asked, all right? So that's just a little Zoom housekeeping. Well, we're gonna not delay. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And I am going to, let's see, Lisa, is starting back again tomorrow. Yes, awesome, Lisa. That's great. Well, I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to go over the Shibboleth lifestyle. The Shibboleth lifestyle. That's what we call it. It is a lifestyle. What are the first 4 letters in the word life? What are those? Y'all tell me. Somebody say it, because it's important. Very important. Kelly, not yet. Not yet to Canada. What does the first 4 letters spell in lifestyle? Life. That's right, Alicia. A life. What does the first 3 letters in the word diet spell? Die. That's right. We are not here to diet. Okay, now, obviously, we all know that what we choose to put in our body is our diet, okay? It's what we put in. I mean, you can have a SAD diet, the standard American diet. You can have that type of diet, or you can have a healthy diet, but we're not dieting, okay? We're living a lifestyle. And I really want y'all to understand that part. It's so, so important that you realize that you're living a lifestyle, because you've got from now until the Lord takes you to heaven to live, okay? And you need to be as healthy as possible for your own sake, for your family's sake, and everybody else around you, for everybody's sake, but yours mainly, okay? And we want to just know that we're living a lifestyle. What this program is going to do for you is that it's going to help you live a balanced lifestyle. I know that mine was sort of out of balance, and then I figured out these little rules that Travis has put together for us in such a lovely lifestyle, and we just live it, and we get to live it together in the community of Shibboleth, okay? So we're here to do this together forever. All right, so it's not a quick, easy, let me get out of here. No, it's we stick together and we do this together, because you can't just get to Galway and you're like, shoo, I made it. You guess what happens? It goes right back. This is a lifestyle that can be lived forever, because it's that enjoyable. It really is, okay? So thank y'all for typing that in. So the Shibboleth lifestyle is what you have joined, and my name is Kim Danke. I'm your fast track instructor. Okay, and I'm happy to be here. Last year I lost 50 pounds. I have been in 5 months. I have been maintaining that now for about 9 months. And I don't see that I'm ever going back the other way. And I'm thankful. So let's look at this. What we are going over tonight is the basics, okay? Because I need you to understand the terminology, the words that you're going to hear anytime you are learning something new. It's important to know the terms that are used so that you are not confused about what you read in a post, or, you know, that kind of thing, so you understand it. So we're going over the basics tonight. We do have another live webinar tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're doing some simple food combining and just talking about, we're going to touch on it tonight, but tomorrow night it's all on that. But we have the basics here. We have 2 modes in Shibboleth. You are either in weight loss or you're in maintenance. If you are in a weight loss, that just means that you have not reached your goal yet and you don't have your victory badge. You are going down. You're losing weight. That's your weight loss mode, okay? Maintenance mode means you've gotten to where you need to be. Now you just need to be able to sustain that for life. So there's your 2, weight loss and maintenance. There's 3 differences between weight loss and maintenance. Just 3 differences. Because basically, once you learn the Shibboleth lifestyle, that's the lifestyle you're gonna live the rest of your life. But the 3 differences are this: 1, the number of holidays that you get to use. We're going to go over that in the next slide. 2, the way that you eat fruit. And 3, your mindset, that you have determined this truly is your forever lifestyle, so that you can just do this and sustain this awesomeness. There are 2 types of days in Shibboleth. We either have a perfect day, which shows as a check, like there's a green check you see right here. It shows as a green check for your first 2 perfect days. Then your third perfect day shows up as a flame, because then you get into EFB, which is efficient fat burning. Now, in the basics of Shibboleth, a perfect day is all you really need. As you begin to live this lifestyle and learn more things, there are different types of perfect days. I'm not going over those tonight. We're just going over just a regular perfect day. And then the other type of day in Shibboleth is a holiday. A holiday is a day where you are not meeting some component of what makes up a perfect day. It's that simple. It is just really easy. So you have a perfect day or a holiday. How many holidays are allowed? When you are in weight loss mode, you have up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. So we just need you to give yourself 24 to 25 perfect days in a month. And if you choose to have full out hog trough days, 6 days a month, guess what? You're still going to lose weight. Now, of course, the full out hog trough day really isn't your best bet, but you know, I'm just telling you, if you give yourself 24 to 25 perfect days in a month, and I say 24 to 25 depending on how many days are in that month, then you're going to lose weight, and that's what your goal is, okay? Now, you will learn that it's easier to recover than eating one meal that's not Shibboleth approved than having a hog trough day, like I just said, but 6 days you can use in weight loss mode. Once you get into maintenance, if you choose to, you can use up to 12 holidays in a calendar month, okay? You can use up to 12 holidays in a calendar month. Now, some people find when they get there, they don't need or want those 12 holidays, and they kind of stick to the 6, or they figure out something that works for them. But in maintenance, you could go up to 12 holidays. Now, I'm not going to be talking about 12 holidays this week because we're in weight loss mode right here this week. This is a weight loss mode week, so we're going to be talking about 6 holidays, okay? And oh, well, I meant to say, if you have any questions while I'm talking, please ask them as soon as you think of them. I will get on a roll and forget to check, but when I come back, your question will be there and I can answer it. But then if you don't ask it when you think of it, you might forget it, because I know I do that. So feel free to ask it and I'll come back to it, okay? So the next question is, how do I have a perfect day? Well, you do what we call following the Shibboleth shield. And I'm going to talk about that word real quick. I say Shibboleth when it's before shield because it just rolls off my tongue easier. We do call this lifestyle Shibboleth, okay? But it is a Hebrew word from the book of Judges. It was a password, and a password is a secret, and we have found these secrets to weight loss, all right? So you put all this together, you will lose weight. So that's why it's called Shibboleth, along with some other reasons. And in the new member fast track group, I have a video by Travis, and it's called Shibboleth Origins. I really highly suggest that you watch that so that you can see where he's coming from with the name. But the Hebrews did say Shibboleth, all right? But we say Shibboleth. So that's that. After 2 perfect days, you are in what we call EFB. Those are going to be your favorite 3 letters. EFB, efficient fat burning. See, before Shibboleth, I was never in efficient fat burning. I was never able to access that stored energy, which is fat. I was never able to access that because I wasn't doing the right things. Now that I've learned this, I am able to access stored energy by getting my body into efficient fat burning. And we're going to talk more about that as we move along. But you're going to follow the Shibboleth shield to have a perfect day. These 5 components right here make up having a perfect day. Water, journal, combinations, portions, timing. Those are the 5 things that you want to live by. I'm going to go ahead and mention right here that if I drew a line right here under portions, 1, 2, 3, and 4 have to be met in order for you to say you've had a perfect day. Timing is ultra important, but we all live different lifestyles and we live different schedules and things like that, that we can't say, we can't make you have a perfect day on that one, like do this, this, and this, you know. So what we do on the timing one is we tell you what helps and optimizes your weight loss for the timing one, okay? Now we're going to look at the next one. We're going to go over each component of the shield individually. Number one is water. You want to drink 1/2 gallon to 1 gallon of water every day. Now, this is 64 ounces up to 128 ounces. So what that is 4, those 16-ounce water bottles that you get at the grocery store, it's 4 of those. Drink 4 in a day, and you can say you've had a perfect day. Now, I do find that people that drink more water, they are less hungry, they are more satisfied. It is your friend. So when you are drinking a lot of water, it's good. So your goal is a gallon. Your goal is a gallon. But if you have at least 64, you can say you've had a perfect day. But try to get in more than that. Let's look at this bullet point right here. A dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste. Now, you know what? Sometimes I have people tell me, I'm never thirsty. Do you know the fact that you're never thirsty is a sign that you are dehydrated? I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it is. So you need to make sure that you hydrate your body. And one of the things that you are going to be doing in your very first week with Shibboleth is you're going to be regulating your hydration levels. You're going to be regulating your hydration levels. You will be going to the bathroom a lot, so just kind of get used to that. But it will, your body will get used to drinking all of this water and everything. All right, I think I have a question. Alicia, it is not bad to have more than a gallon. Totally fine. Totally fine. Okay, let's look at component number 2 of the Shibboleth Shield, journaling. And way to go on drinking that water, Alicia. Component 2 of the Shibboleth Shield, journal. You've got to journal daily. Now, the journal does several things for us. It's real easy to journal right there in your website. And it's going to, 1, help you plan out what you are eating. And it also is going to help you learn the program. And journaling also helps us with behavior modification, things that we need to change, behaviors that we've had that we need to change, okay? So I want to read this, but then I'm going to tell you the real way to do it. Journal daily. If you bite it, write it. If you nibble it, scribble it. If you drink it, ink it. If you hog it, log it. Okay, so what this does mean is it means you should still journal a holiday, okay? But I'm going to say this. This first one, if you bite it, you write it. I really want you to think about it like this. Write it before you bite it. Do you know what that is? That's a plan. When you write it before you bite it, you have made yourself a plan. When you have a plan, you are much more likely to be successful. So let's say that you go, okay, tomorrow morning for breakfast, I'm having 1/3 of a hemp bar, or I'm having a Mighty Muffin, or I'm having 2 eggs, or I'm having an egg white spinach omelet. You've made a plan. You could go ahead and write that in. Now, if your plan changes and that edits a little bit, you can always go in and edit it, okay? But then tomorrow for lunch, you're going to have some boar's head turkey breast on a Fibers carb bread, and put some Fiber Gourmet crackers next to that. And then tomorrow night for dinner, you're going to have chicken and broccoli. So these are just plans. But if you go ahead and write it before you bite it, you can write that in your journal. So you want to write down your journal what you're going to eat. So write it before you bite it is the best way to do it. If you don't do it that way, you still have to write it even after you've bitten it, okay? So, and the other reason that you want to journal is because it's going to ask you what categories are these. It's going to make you think through what you put together and is that a combination that works. So that's what helps you too. Plus, let's say that you want to give up. Let's say that you've had a perfect day and it's after dinner and you are wanting something. You're just wanting something to eat. You may not even be hungry. You just want a taste in your mouth, or your mind is telling you you want to do something, or you're bored. I mean, there's so many reasons, but guess what you'd have to do? You'd have to get up and go over there and change your journal. Well, I don't want to go change my journal because, see, I wake up in the morning, I determine my day. My day does not determine me. The very first thing I do in the morning is I go to my Shibboleth website before I check text or Facebook. And I determine my day before I even get out of the bed. It is determined. Well, I've already marked it down that I'm having a perfect day. Well, after I've had a perfect day and then I'm contemplating giving that perfect day up, oh no, I do not want to walk in there and have to change that journal. Because if you have to go change that journal, that might make you think through not doing what you're contemplating. And you can start to modify behaviors. And one of the things, if you get hungry at night, just go to bed. I tell you, in the early days of Shibboleth, I went to bed at 7 o'clock some nights. I was hungry. I wanted to eat, but I just went to bed because I was so determined to finish off that perfect day. And that was one of my strategies. Component number 3 of the Shibboleth Shield is combinations. Okay, secret alert, secret alert. This is one of the secrets. And if people tell you, oh no, I'm just gonna I'm gonna look at calories. I'm only gonna pay attention to calories. Not all calories are created equal, and the food in our body does not respond the same way. We have to combine foods. Combining foods in a way that control insulin is the #1 way to weight reduction. So many people think that it's just portion controlling and calories and eating less. That's important. It's very important. That is important, but it's not the #1 way. That's why we combine these two. This is the #1 way to weight reduction, combining your foods in a way that control insulin. So for component number 3 of the Shibboleth Shield, you must eat properly combined meals. Properly combined meals keep away what we call the fat bus. The fat bus is insulin, and we're going to talk about what that does in just a minute because I think it's going to blow your mind. If you don't have a medical background of some sort, or even if you do, I found many medical people who don't know this, but some people do. Every once in a while I'll run into somebody that already knew this, but we'll talk about that in a second. Component number 4 of the Shibboleth Shield is portion control. We're going to eat properly portioned meals using a 6 to 8 inch plate, from a 6 to 8 inch plate using the 2-hand rule. Now I'm going to tell you right now, whether you're eating off of a 6 to 8 inch plate or not, your 2-hand rule trumps your 6 to 8 inch plate. This is the way you do it. You carry your measuring tools with you everywhere you go. So when you go to that restaurant and they give you that plate that's that big, it doesn't matter. You use your 2 hands. And if you have to go ahead and get a doggy bag in the very beginning and cut it and portion it out and save it for another meal, just go ahead and do it. But this is how you do it. You put your hands together as close as possible. You should not be able to see your thumbs. You see how my thumbs are way back behind my hands? You put them together like that. You place that down like this. You place that down over your food. You should not see your food sticking out. If you see your food sticking out, you need to take that part off and just save it for another meal, okay? It also should not be any thicker than the thickest part of your hand. So I always laugh and say, what that means is you are not piling up your Thanksgiving plate and then putting your hands over it and saying, I can't see it, okay? Okay, it doesn't need to be like this. It needs to be no thicker than the thickest part of your hand. Okay, so we got a portion control. If it will help you to use a portion control plate, we do sell those in the Shibboleth store online, and Travis has some that he likes, but really it's just a 6 to 8 inch plate, and that's what we use at my house now, a 6 to 8 inch plate. But the 2-hand rule trumps everything. You use that instead because if you don't have a 6 to 8 inch plate. And when I say an 8 inch plate, I don't mean the rim, the 2 inch rim, okay? It's the 6 inches in the middle. Okay, so let's think about one more thing in portions. Portions are important because, and I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to tell you some questions tonight that I'm going to ask tomorrow night. I'm going to ask this tomorrow night, so I need y'all to remember this. There's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. 1 pound, 3,500 calories. So I lost 50 pounds last year. So let's do some math real quick. 50, I haven't done this before on class. So I had overeaten by 175,000 calories. So I'd overeaten by that number of calories that weren't able to get burned off, and they got stored as fat on my body. So now I have to go backwards, right? So there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So you need to make sure that you are in a calorie deficit in order to burn that fat off, okay? And so you got to get into that calorie deficit. So that's why portioning is very, very important. So, but we kickstart it by doing the #1 way to weight reduction, which combines food in a way that controls insulin, but we're also getting into our calorie deficit through the portion control. That's important to know. So those are the 4 components that you must meet in order to say that you have had a perfect day. Water, journal, combining your foods in a way that control insulin, and portion control. Those are 4. But number 5 is, even though it's not required to have a perfect day, it's ultra important. The reason that we go over timing is because, well, let's talk about this. Sometimes people eat late, and although it's not optimal, if they're choosing to still eat the right food, combined properly and the right amount, they're still going to have success. But there are things that you can do to help you have better success. But some people work first shift, second shift, third shift, or they've got, small children and they're working all kinds of, taking care of the kids and things like that. And so hours vary. We can't just say, everybody eat at 8, everybody eat at noon, everybody eat at 6, and that's it, So we have to tell you what is optimal for you to do. You can do up to 3 meals a day, but we do not suggest that you go over 3 meals a day. If you have heard in the past that you can eat 5 to 6 meals a day, then that's a myth. Okay, those people that are telling you to eat 5 or 6 small meals a day, they are not doing you any favors with your metabolism. That is harming your metabolism. So 3 meals a day is really all that you need. You do need to eat them 4 to 6 hours apart. So you can figure that out based on when you wake up, and you can eat breakfast, and then what time you're able to eat lunch, and then what time you're able to eat dinner. You get to figure all that out, okay? So 4 to 6 hours apart. If you are not a breakfast eater, well, let me put it this way. If you are a breakfast eater, eat within an hour or 2 of waking. Then lunch would be 4 to 6 hours later, and dinner 4 to 6 hours later. If you are not a breakfast eater, you don't have to be. It's okay. Just have your lunch be breakfast. I say that because your first meal of the day, no matter what food it is actually breakfast, because it's breaking your overnight fast. But you can skip breakfast if you don't want it. It's okay. But if you find that you like to eat breakfast, that's good. I'm a breakfast eater. Now, look at this last bullet point right here. In moments of mental weakness, you can utilize freebies, an extra, or a snack. Now, we say that in moments of mental weakness because our bodies can make it from breakfast to lunch, and they can make it from lunch to dinner, and they can make it from dinner to bedtime. They really can. I promise you they can. You may even feel hungry, but you're not going to starve, and you can make it. But this is also a lifestyle, so we don't want you to feel like I'm deprived, I can't have anything. So you've got to figure out what works for you within the guidelines of the program. So our freebies are those things that can be used whenever you need them. Whenever you need them. So egg whites are a freebie. Any category 2 fibrous carb vegetable is a freebie. Sugar-free Jell-O is a freebie. Pickles are a freebie. Things like that. Okay, those are some freebies. And then an extra is just a small little something. For example, we have these little Choco Right peanut butter patties in the store. If you eat 1 little packet of those, it's an extra. All right. But if you eat 2 packets of those, it'd be called a snack. So there's just these little things they're there for you if you really, really need them. Now, I'm going to tell you how I did it when I was in weight loss. When I was in weight loss, I just ate 3 meals a day, and that was that. It's just what I decided to do, and it worked. But if you need these other things, you can. But really, it's a mental thing, and sometimes it's a taste bud thing. All of a sudden, our tongue tells us, "I want to taste this." Well, guess what I'm going to tell you to do? Go in there and drink your water first. Just go in there and drink a big old 16-ounce water bottle. Get it down in there. You'll be satisfied, and that will go away. Or chew some gum or do different things like that. But you can use those, and it would still be called a perfect day if you utilize them. But 1 extra, 1 snack. And if you can just do one or the other, that would be better. Because remember, we're still trying to reduce calories. Now let's look at that calorie-wise, all right? So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and ask you right now, how many calories are in a pound of fat that we have to go backwards to lose it. 3,500, that's right, Donna, 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So let's think about these freebies. Let's say that you ate freebies so much that it turned out that it amounted up to like 30 calories. I know that sounds silly, but all the calories matter once you get down to your goal weight, okay? They're gonna matter then. They matter less in the beginning. And we're not a calorie counting program, which, hallelujah, I don't want to do all that. But an extra is around 70 calories, and a snack is no more than 200 calories. But if you add together 30 and 70, that makes 100. And then if you add together another 200, that's 300 calories. 300 divided in 3,500 is 11.67. So you're slowing yourself down by 11.67 days and losing a pound of fat if you put in all those things in a day. So I just kind of did the math and said, you know, it's not really worth it. I'm going to eat 3 meals a day that I like, and that's just what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get this taken care of. And that's what I did. Okay, so that's the 5th component of the shield. One of the other things that you're going to learn in the future, we don't need to go over it tonight, but about intermittent fasting, that has to do with this timing thing. And I at least fast 12 to 13 hours a night, and I use my sleeping time as fasting. Okay, so that is really good for you. It gives your body a break from digesting, and it's really awesome to do it overnight, because when you go to bed on an empty stomach, I didn't say starving or, you know, super hungry, but when you go to bed on an empty stomach, your body, so we have involuntary actions that our body does. One of those is recovery. So our body lets out a growth hormone at night that helps our body recover, like our skin cells, all of our other cells, they recover. But if our body needs to digest food, guess what it's going to focus on first? Digesting the food. We have less recovery when we're having to digest all night. So that's another thing, that if you can stop eating early, about 4 hours before you go to bed, that would really be best. All right, so let's look at the next slide. So we're going to go back to component number 3 of the Shibboleth Shield. How do I put together a properly combined meal? So when you are learning to put together properly combined meals, you need to learn that there are 7 categories of food. 7 categories of food. So how many categories are there? Somebody tell me. 7. Thank you, Alicia. There's 7 categories of food. And what I'm going to point out today is I'm going to point out the numbers and the abbreviations and what they're called. So whenever you see a number 1, it's a lean protein. You also may see LP. Lean protein is a 1. Number 2 is a fibrous carb, FC. Number 3, energy carb, EC. Number 4, protein plus fat, PF. Number 5, fruit, FR. Also known as antioxidant carb, AC. Number 6, superfood, SF. Number 7, shellfish, SHF. And this little parenthetical phrase right there says, which is really just a lean protein. Okay, so this is going to be one of the questions I ask you tomorrow night. Now, and so I'm going to expand a little bit more on it. See right here where it says number 1, lean protein? Number 7 is a subcategory of a lean protein. And the reason I say it that way is because shellfish in our program used to be in number 1 because it's a lean protein. But due to biblical reasons and medical reasons, some people do not want to eat shellfish. So Travis just took it off of the lean protein, put it down here as number 7, and that's how it ended up at the end. Okay, so but shellfish is interchangeable with a 1. So anytime I say a lean protein, really that means a 1 or a 7. So that's going to be a question I ask tomorrow night, because that's important for everybody to know. So let's look at category 2 where it says fibrous carb, category 3 where it says energy carb, and category 6 where it says superfood, there's going to be a lot of foods in those categories that people consider to be vegetables. But not all vegetables respond the same way in your body. They don't all respond the same way in your body. So it's important to know how these foods, even under the same umbrella of a term, vegetables, they respond differently. So we have to combine them together in a way that help out each other when you put them in there. So the fibrous carbs are those things like broccoli, asparagus, green beans, cauliflower, that kind of thing. Your energy carbs, this is where you're going to find all of your potatoes, your corn, grits, which is corn, and things, all of your peas and most of your lighter colored beans, those kind of things are in energy carbs. Down here in your superfoods, the superfood category varies greatly. It varies greatly because this is where your avocados are found, which are mostly fat, but they're all a good fat, okay? And then this is where your darker colored beans are, and a few lighter colored beans are in the superfood. This is where all your nuts and your seeds are. So all of those foods are in superfood. But how something qualifies to be a superfood is that it has all 4 macronutrients in there. So we consider water a macronutrient. That's why we say there's 4. So it's got water in it, it's got protein, carbs, and fat in it. But think about it. A black bean is going to have more carbs in it than an almond. An almond's going to have more fat in it. So the superfood category varies greatly. And we just have to know how to combine these things together. And, oh, Monica asked a question. She wants to know where I am from. Well, I spent 25 years in Alabama. I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, and I've been 25 years in Kennesaw, Georgia. So that's where I'm from. Where are you from, Monica? Monica. Lawrenceville. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Very good. So I live in Kennesaw. Well, there goes my screen. Okay, so it's really important to make sure that we know how these foods respond in our body. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to talk about the 5 categories that you can eat by themselves, because there's 5 categories that you can eat by themselves. You can eat, and this is going to be a question for tomorrow night too. You can eat a lean protein by itself. You can eat fibrous carbs by themselves. You can eat protein plus fat by itself. You can eat superfoods by themselves. And you can eat shellfish by themselves. So I skipped 2 categories because you cannot eat energy carbs or fruit by themselves. Now, once you get to maintenance, hear this, okay? Once you get to maintenance, you can eat fruit as a snack by itself if you want to. But in weight loss, we have to treat fruit differently because all nutrition is situational, and fruit brings a little bit of an insulin release. And if we are trying to eat in a way that controls insulin so that we have the best weight loss, we can still eat fruit. We just have to pair it properly. But once you get to maintenance, you can have fruit as a snack by itself, okay? But in weight loss, which is what I've told y'all we're talking about this week, we do not eat energy carbs or fruit by themselves in a weight loss mode. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. Yeah, I just turned 50 this year, back in February. Okay, so let's look. So now you know the 5 categories of food that you can eat by themselves if you want to. But I want to talk to you about the ones that you must properly combine. That is a 3 and a 5. If you want to eat a 3 or a 5, you must eat it. That's a must, okay? Or it's a holiday. And you must eat it with a 1 and a 2. So it's a must and an and. You must eat it with a 1 and a 2. So what that might look like to you is, let's say that you want to eat some lima beans. Lima beans are a category 3 energy carb. Well, first of all, you're going to portion control them. So it's going to be about 1/4 of a cup. So I kind of think in my mind about right here, okay, about right there. And then you're going to eat that with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So what that might look like is maybe you put a piece of chicken breast under here, and maybe you put some green beans right there. Okay, you portion control it, you put your hands down over it. So first of all, it's properly combined, and secondly, you portion control it. So now I'm going to talk to you. This is important. Y'all listen. This is what is going on. I consider this a science experiment. Everything that is going on in your body is like a science experiment. And we want to win the blue ribbon, right? We want to make sure that the science experiment is going well. All right, we want to make sure that's going well. We don't want to not even place in the science fair. We want to win the science fair. So it is scientific. That's why I make that joke. But so what happens is those lima beans that you ate are going to bring a little bit of an insulin release. But you didn't overeat the lima beans, so it didn't require your body to send out dose after dose after dose of insulin. It sent out some insulin to deal with those, but it wasn't an overly unreasonable amount, okay? But what you did, because now you know to do that, what you did was you combined that little bit of food that was going to bring an insulin release with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So the protein in the lean protein and the fiber in the fibrous carb are going to neutralize the insulin release that comes from the lima beans. Is that not amazing? I love that. Just knowing that I now can do the right thing for my body just makes me so happy to know that I can do that. So if you put corn on your plate, maybe 1/4 cup of corn, broccoli, and a 96% lean ground beef patty, that would be a great meal. That little bit of corn is going to bring some insulin release, but the protein in the 96% lean ground meat and the fiber in the broccoli are going to neutralize the amount of insulin that came out because of the corn. Okay? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So let's talk about fruit, because you have to do the same thing with fruit. So let's say that you want to have some fruit for breakfast. Well, you can do about 1/2 cup, okay, about 1/2 cup of fruit. And maybe you pair that with an egg white spinach omelet. Well, egg whites are a lean protein. And then your spinach is a fibrous carb. So you have put your, let's just say some berries with an egg white spinach omelet. The berries, now they're the least of your concern. They're the lowest glycemic fruit, but I still use berries. But they're going to bring a little bit of an insulin release, all right? But you are going to, the protein in the egg whites and the fiber in the spinach are going to neutralize that. Now, if I mention anything tonight that in your head you go, gross, I don't like that food, I want you to consider you never have to eat that food. All you have to do is figure out which lean protein you like. There's a lot of them. Figure out which fibrous carb you like. There's a lot of them. So maybe you like a yogurt, one of the yogurts that work. You can do the yogurt in there. And a lot of people these days are putting these hemp flakes, which we'll talk about hemp products tomorrow night, hemp flakes in their yogurt. And then putting some berries in there, and they're making like a little parfait. So some people are enjoying that. Well, that would be a lean protein, a fibrous carb, and some fruit. But honestly, the amount of fruit that you're using right there could be used as a condiment amount. We're talking about condiments tomorrow night too, okay? So anyway, if you're going to eat fruit or you're going to eat an energy carb, it must be combined with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. And when I say lean protein, what other category could that be? Awesome, Alicia. Yeah, those hemp flakes are great. I think you were there with Julie. Yes, that's great. Alicia said number 7. So shellfish is a lean protein. So if you're thinking, okay, I want to have a little bit of mashed potatoes or something, or I want to have a little bit of potatoes, and I'm going to have some shrimp and some asparagus with it, you could do that. You could do that. And of course, you're going to portion control, and it is combined in a way that controls insulin. So now what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about protein plus fat. Now, a protein plus fat is, got a question, I'm going to answer that. What's the difference between hemp flakes and hemp hearts? So a hemp heart is just the inside of a hemp seed, and it's round and it looks like a seed. A hemp flake is a defatted hemp heart. It looks like honestly, let me just tell you what it looks like. It looks like a green cornflake. You know how you get just regular old cornflakes? It looks like a green cornflake. But here's another important difference between hemp flakes and hemp hearts. Hemp flakes are a category 1 and 2 combined. Now, there's not a whole bunch of foods out there that are a combined food like that, but hemp flakes have enough fiber and protein in them to be a 1 and 2 together. So they're a 1 and a 2. But a hemp heart is a category 6. It's a superfood because it has water, fat, protein, and fiber in it. So a hemp heart. So when we think about it, hemp flakes are going to be a 10 on the weight loss meter. They'll be an 8 on the wellness meter, whereas hemp hearts would be a 10 on the wellness meter, but an 8 on the weight loss meter. Now, if you hear that, 8 and 10, there's not much difference in that, but again, like I mentioned already, nutrition is situational. So once you've gotten, if you want to use hemp flakes while you're in weight loss, that's great, but then maybe you go hemp hearts when you're in wellness. Or we also call maintenance wellness sometimes, so that might be something you hear interchanged. Okay, what do they taste like? So the hemp flakes in the store that are called they really don't taste like much of anything to me, but what I buy is the sweet hemp flakes, and they have a little bit of maple syrup on them, just enough, nothing to bring on insulin release or anything like that, a little bit of maple syrup on there, and they have a little bit of, I think it was mesquite flavoring, but it doesn't taste like mesquite, and they are phenomenal. And then if you choose to do the very sweet hemp flakes from the SHIBBOLETH store, they have a little bit of cranberry in there too. And they are super good, super good. The hemp hearts taste a little nutty, little seedy, nutty. They're very good. Yes, you can eat them on yogurt. I don't like yogurt, but there's a lot of people out there right now doing yogurt with their hemp flakes and a little spoonful of berries. Yes, Monica, you can. Yep, and that makes a great thing. Do you want to tell me, let me tell you how I eat hemp flakes. This is going to sound crazy. Somebody looked at me yesterday like I had 2 heads when I said this. So let's say I put myself a piece of, most people think of like sprinkling hemp flakes on something. I put a piece of chicken breast right here, and over in a little bowl on my plate, I'll put 5 tablespoons of very sweet hemp flakes, and I just eat them. And it's my category 2 fibrous carb, you know, because it's a 1 and a 2. And it's my fibrous carb, but it also tastes so good. It's like a dessert. So I mean, just eat them like that, straight out of a bowl. I feel like I'm eating cereal, honestly, when I'm eating that. I feel like I'm eating a dried cereal, but it's not hurting me. Yeah, you do. It's good. It's really, really good. The other thing that y'all have to try, I'm just going to go ahead and mention this right now, is a hemp bar, a hemp bar. Okay, it is a German European chocolate with hemp seeds in it, and then it's topped with either a dried fruit or a nut. And it's a 12-inch bar, okay, like this. So the first time I open it, I cut it at 4 inches and I cut it at 8 inches. So it's thirding the bar. 1/3 is a meal replacement. It's extremely satisfying. And so once I've opened up the package is great because it clips back in all the way around. I'll have 1/3 one morning, 1/3 the next morning, and then the third the next morning. And then I might do something else for a couple of mornings and I open up another hemp bar. But those are phenomenal, phenomenal. Yay, did you like it, Alicia? Alicia tried the pecan one yesterday. I just bought a pecan one yesterday too. I bought a pecan one and a walnut one and a pine nut one. We buy them at the SHIBBOLETH store. You can either shop at the Kennesaw store, or Monica, since you live in Lawrenceville, you can go online to shop online, and they will be shipped to you straight out of Dalton. Awesome. Yep. And Alicia did it as a snack, because if you cut it into sixths, 1/6 of it is a snack. Yes. Now, Monica, just to let you know, if you ever feel like driving over here from Lawrenceville, we do have class on Saturday mornings at 10:30. You do have to register online. You can go find the events in your dashboard online and register, but we'd love for you to come over and meet us and visit us. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Good. Okay, so this right here, now what we're going to talk about is we are going to talk about, there is a store in Dalton, Amanda. Yes. They are open 10 to 6 Monday through Friday and 10 to 2 on Saturdays. The SHIBBOLETH store in Kennesaw is open 11 to 6 Monday through Friday, and then 10 to 2 on Saturday. The reason our hours are a little bit different right now in Kennesaw is because we were open 11 to 7. And I like that time frame because it rhymes. I know, I'm silly. I like that time frame because it rhymes, 11 to 7. It just rolls off the tongue easy. But I also like it because it gives people an opportunity to come after work. A lot of people want to run by after work, and it gives them a couple more hours to get that done. But the SHIBBOLETH store in Kennesaw is located inside a co-working space. So it's really kind of a neat concept. It's a co-working space. So when you come into the co-working space, there's a coffee shop. But inside there is a real estate company, a moving company, a IT company, all kinds of other companies, and a church meets in there on Sundays. We are a member of that space. And so we get to use the meeting rooms, and we have a space where our store is. So you won't see any visible SHIBBOLETH signage outside because it's a secret. See, my shirt says SHIBBOLETH, it's a secret. But we really just kind of make fun of that because there's no signage outside. So until you actually find us, it's kind of a secret. But it's really a neat place. So we're inside there. And so right now, due to the coronavirus, they've shortened their hours until 6. So we're just closing at 6 to keep that smooth. Let's see. Alicia says, yes, please come for a class. It would be worth a drive. Okay, so Alicia, we had 3 people there from Cedartown yesterday, which I know that's kind of, but they did a 50-minute drive too. And was there somebody over there from, we had 2 people from Douglasville yesterday too, Alicia. Yeah, Amanda, the Dalton store would be best for you. Yeah, Alicia had to figure out the secret. Monica, I work there on Saturdays. So Sherry is we call her Shibby Shop Sherry. She works there Monday through Friday. And Kristen works there on Saturday. And then I teach a class on Saturday and then hang out and talk to everybody. Shannon, classes are also on Monday night at 6 p.m. in Kennesaw. Now, Jason he's going to be opening up classes again in his area shortly. Yeah, so Shannon, you could come on Monday nights at 6. Yes, awesome, good. I love all these questions, y'all. Okay, we're going to get back to the protein plus fat. So this is category 4, protein plus fat. So what I'm going to tell you, what I think is important to know about this category is what you don't eat it with. So this is be a question for tomorrow night. What I don't want you to eat a protein plus fat with is 3s, 5s, or 6s. So y'all might want to write that down. Jason is in Dalton. Yes, Amanda. Yes. So for your protein plus fat, just do not eat them with energy carbs, fruit, or superfood. And I'm going to explain why. So look at this word right here, this 3-letter word. That 3-letter word right there, fat. It is not a bad word. It is not a bad word. This fat that's in this protein plus fat is good fat. This is not a bad fat. our bodies need fat for certain functions. If we just completely got rid of all fat, that would not be a smart move. Now, we have to be more careful with it because we're trying to make our body access stored energy. But this is not a bad word, is what I want you to understand. But because this one is a protein plus fat, this word right here is making us say, I need to eat this food more carefully because I don't want to store this baby right here. I want this baby right here to be used up as energy. I don't want it to get stored. In my mind, we are trying to achieve two things in weight loss. One, you don't want to store new fat, okay? Two, you want to get rid of fat that's there. So we have to figure out how to do that. So right here, so this protein plus fat, so this word right here makes you know you don't eat these with 3s, 5s, or 6s. So you don't eat them with energy, carbs, fruit, or superfood. I'm going to explain why. I'm going to take the classic plate of a steak and baked potato. Steak and baked potato, you've ordered it. It's on your plate. You eat that steak. That steak is a good protein, and there's some fat lipids in there. And those fat lipids aren't bad fat lipids, okay? Your body's going to use those for certain functions. Now, if you overeat all of that, then it could add up. But we're not overeating it on Shibboleth, are we? So protein plus fat. Fat lipids, they're running around in your body because you ate a steak. But you also ate it with a potato. And most of the time when you eat a potato, it's not reasonably sized. You know, they're those giant potatoes. They're not little baby potatoes. They're the giant potatoes. So you've eaten this giant potato, and so this is what happens. This is the science experiment that's going on in your body. Dose after dose after dose of insulin has to come out to deal with that potato because you need to keep your blood sugar regulated, right? So that insulin runs out there to do that. And insulin, what we call insulin, is the fat bus. The reason we call insulin the fat bus is because, here's the thing, insulin is a hormone. I'm going to ask this tomorrow night. Insulin is a what? It's a hormone. It is a hormone that is focused on fat storage. What? Oh my goodness. So not only does it come out and help regulate your blood sugar, but we can regulate that blood sugar and not have to have its other effect, which is fat storage. So this is how I want you to get this in your mind. A bus's job is to pick up people and take them to their destination. The fat bus's job is to pick up fat and take it to its destination, which is your butt and gut, okay? And we don't want it there. So just imagine fat lipids running around. And then, insulin doses come out. Insulin is the fat bus. Pick up that fat and let's take it away. That is what's happening. That is a science experiment at the science fair that did not place. Okay, it did not place because it did not work. But let's imagine that now that you know that you don't want to put that combination together, that instead of a baked potato with your steak, you chose broccoli, asparagus, green beans, something like that. You ate the steak. There's protein. There's fat lipids running around in your body. Did you eat anything that brought an insulin release? No. So therefore, that broccoli did not bring an insulin release. So those fat lipids that are right there, your body uses those as energy. They don't get stored. Their body uses them as energy, and then they just go, they get used up. But they didn't get stored because you paired it the right way. Isn't that amazing? I love that. So that's huge, very, very important. I want you to know something. All of your whole eggs are here. So whole eggs, you got to make sure that you pair them the right way. You don't want to put any whole eggs with your energy, carbs, fruit, or superfood. That way, a lot of people that want to eat fruit in the morning, just do your egg whites when you want to do that. Okay. And we already talked about that. Is all this starting to make a little bit of sense? I want to hear from y'all. Is this making some sense? Because tomorrow night we're going to go over more foods that are in each category, because one of the other things, not only do you need to learn that there are 7 foods, you've got to familiarize yourself with the foods that you like and what categories they are in. Because on Shibboleth, you don't have to eat anything you don't like, but you are responsible to yourself in figuring out, I like these foods. What categories are they in? Okay, I need to pair it like this. What kind of plate is that going to look like? So that's what you got to do. Oh, good, good. I'm glad this is making sense. Awesome, awesome. So let's go over these. I'm just going to recap this. Your fastest fat-burning meal is a category 1, 1 and 2, plus MCT oil. We're going to go over that. That's huge. Or a 7 and 2 plus MCT. Those are the fastest fat-burning combinations. If you want to eat a 3 or a 5, it must be eaten with a 1 and a 2. Or that 1 could also be a 7. Don't eat 4s with 3s, 5s, or 6s. And then my last bullet point right here, all meat at a restaurant must be considered a category 4. And the reason that is to keep you safe, because we know that they did not cook it in approved oil. So let's say that you go to a restaurant and you say, well, you know, I really like their corn here. I'm going to order a chicken breast and some green beans, and then I'm going to have corn. Well, that won't work at a restaurant. Chicken breast, green beans, and corn would work at home, but it doesn't at a restaurant, because the chicken breast is a lean protein. But when they've cooked fat into it, that's an unapproved fat, then you don't want to pair that with your corn, right? So we just consider all meat at a restaurant a category 4. So that kind of determines what you're going to order with that. You're going to pretty much order a category 2 fibrous carb with that. Okay, so that's what you're going to do at a restaurant. Let's see, Amanda, she asks, is there a way we can look at the nutrition facts and decide if they are okay without having to ask on Facebook or do a search? Amanda, so what I would do, that I wouldn't ask on Facebook first. I personally would research inside of our own food library. That's where I would just drive myself to that food library, because you want to make sure that anything and everything that you personally want to use is already in the approved food library. And in the approved food library, it's going to give you some nutrition facts. It's going to tell you what category it's in. It's going to tell you exactly how to use it as well. And if there are any recipes that go along with that particular food, it's going to list out all those too. So I, Amanda, would focus my searches in on the Shibboleth Food Library. That's where I would go first. And then if for some reason you can't find it, you can ask on Facebook. Yeah, Amanda, yeah, that's what you do. You just keep looking at it and keep a notebook of everything that you've looked up. That way you don't have to look it up again. You can just kind of flip to your notebook and it'll be right there. Okay, so where do we get MCT oil? Can we use avocado oil? We do not recommend avocado oil. The MCT oil, I'm going to go over that next. And okay, and Monica's asking about the app. There is an app, a Shibboleth app. It is 99 cents. And you just go into your app store, your Google Play, and you look for the Shibboleth Journal app. And it's 99 cents, and you can journal on there and you can look things up. Now, I'm going to tell you, personally, I still like the website best, but if I am in need and out at the grocery store or something like that, and I just want to look it up on the app, I could, but I still look everything up on the website because I like what the information it gives me better. But there is an app, and it's great for journaling. I do highly suggest that you get that. Like I said, it's only 99 cents. Yes, you can look things up there, Monica. That's right. That's right. Okay. I'm going to talk about MCT in just a second, because I have preferences on the MCT oil that you use, but I don't want you to use avocado oil. All right. The next thing we're going to talk about is approved cooking oils. So what we want you to use is 100% MCT oil. And I'm going to go over this list and come back as to why. What an MCT oil is, it's a medium chain triglyceride. The second oil that we would like for you to possibly use is coconut oil. It is 60% MCTs. not 100% MCTs, it's 60%. Ghee butter. What that is, it's a clarified butter. Once regular butter has been clarified, it has more MCTs in it. So that's why ghee butter works. Now, MCT is still your number one, and it makes your fastest fat burning meal if you put it with a 1 or 7 and a 2. And then hemp oil works, and then obviously 0 calorie cooking spray works. So those are the oils that we would say that are approved for a perfect day. Let's head back to this MCT oil. The reason you want to use MCT oil is because it has almost no propensity to be stored on the body as fat. It burns up like this. In fact, it burns up so fast that when you are cooking it, we need you to cook on low to medium heat, otherwise it'll set off your smoke detector. And that right there tells you that that oil burns up fast. Now, what this is in contrast to would be a long-chain triglyceride. A long-chain triglyceride are those foods that are canola oil, vegetable oil, olive oil. Okay, those are long-chain triglycerides. They are not good for weight loss. Now, I'm going to talk about this real quick. Olive oil does have other good health properties, but that's not what we're trying to achieve right now. Right now, we're trying to lose weight. So it's not that great for weight loss. It also changes its property once it's been cooked. So that's that. But long-chain triglycerides take a long time to burn up on your body. It is also an easily accessible energy that takes so long to burn up that it's easily stored as fat. So this is why we do not want to use those. So you're out with those. It'd be a holiday if you use those, okay? You don't want to use those. Now, let me tell you which MCT oils you do want to use. I highly suggest and would prefer that you use the one from the SHIBBOLETH store. Okay. Is it required? No. Is it what we consider the best? Yes. Now, if you go to a store and buy 100% MCT oil, will it work? Yes. Why do I say the one that we have? Because it has been maximized for cooking. And we are using the MCT oil only for the purpose of cooking. You don't take it as a supplement. You don't make bulletproof coffee with it. You don't put it in your shakes. MCT oil is used for the purpose of cooking only. You can use it in 3 different ways for meals or cooking. You can use it to, let's say you're cooking a piece of chicken breast in a pan. If you're cooking 1 chicken breast, 1 tablespoon of oil. If you're cooking 4 chicken breasts, you can use 4 tablespoons of the oil. So it's 1 tablespoon per serving that you're making. You can use it in recipes, and you can use it to make salad dressing. But whatever you do, please don't put it in your coffee, any shakes, or just take it as a supplement. You're hearing me say, oh, it's good. It's really great for, it's got a thermogenic effect in it, so it helps you burn a little extra calories, but it's not so great that you just take it as a supplement. You cook with it. It does add to calorie expenditure when you've paired it with the right stuff, so you don't just randomly take it. The MCT oil that we sell at the store, it's called Zero Drag. Zero Drag. Now, there's a difference between a MCT oil that you buy just at the regular store, and when I look at it, there's in 1 tablespoon, there's 130 calories. But the MCT oil we have at the store, there's only 100 calories in it. It's been maximized for cooking, so it's important to do the right one. If you choose not to purchase the one from the store and you go to whatever store that you can find your MCT oil at, I want you to make sure there's a couple of things about it. 1, make sure that it's not repackaged coconut oil. Since coconut oil is 60% MCTs, a lot of people will just say, oh, this is MCTs, and it's really just repackaged coconut oil. No, you don't want that. You want 100% MCTs. So just make sure it's not repackaged coconut oil. Make sure that it's not emulsified. And also make sure that it doesn't say you shouldn't cook with it. See, ours has been maximized for cooking. So make sure it doesn't say that you should not cook with it on the bottle. Okay? Amanda is asking a question about not using real butter. So, okay, so here's the thing. I was a butter girl. I like butter a lot. I switched over. I know this is going to sound crazy. I switched over to the spray, I can't believe it's not butter spray. Let me just tell you, it tastes the exact same. It tastes the same. There's 0 calories in it. I make the best grilled cheese sandwich with butter. I spray it on my toast. I put it on all kinds of stuff. So try that. But then the other day I was in the store and I bought the Brummel and Brown yogurt butter. It's good. It's real good. It's spreadable. You can use it as a condiment. Now, obviously with condiments, and that one has more than 0 calories in it, so you got to be careful with what you use. But try the Brummel and Brown, Amanda, or the I Can't Believe It's Not Butter spray. They're both good. I think I'm kind of picky with butter too, so hopefully that'll help. Let's see. Yeah, Alicia, you're right. That's right. 1 tablespoon of our MCT oil has 100 calories in it, whereas most other 100% MCTs have 130 calories. See, the things that we sell in the store, no, you're not required to buy them, but we have them in the store because that's what we use and we like, and we want other people to have access to the things that we found are best. But you can do whatever fits whatever you want to do, but we do suggest that you use that one. Yeah, try those, Amanda. I think that you might like those a lot, because I did. Ghee butter is good for, like, if you're going to use, I mean, a lot of people make approved grilled cheeses with ghee butter, or maybe a shrimp scampi with ghee butter. Anytime something calls for butter, you know, people will use this ghee butter, but those other two do work, Amanda, and I've actually never even bought any ghee butter. I just use those others. All right. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty and finish this up. I want you to remain in EFB as often as possible. So you're going to have your first perfect day and you're going to get a green check. You're going to have your second perfect day and you're going to get a green check. On your third perfect day, you're getting a flame. And all, when I'm talking about this, this is in your timing chart. So when you open up your account, it'll say timing chart. Whatever you journal translates into your timing chart. It gives you a little icon in your timing chart. That timing chart is ultra important because it tells you how you are doing. You know, it shows you your progress. So we're striving for perfect days though. But planned or unplanned, we all know that a holiday is coming. We know that. So that's okay. You have the holiday. And I want you to do something for me. When you have a holiday, I want you to just enjoy it and get back to Shibboleth the next day and get back to business, all right? So, but planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. You just have to keep in mind that after a holiday, 2 perfect days, then it gets you back into EFB, and then you string as many efficient fat-burning days together as you can. And then, planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. Then you just get back to your perfect days. This is why this lifestyle works so well, is that it's so balanced. It's balanced. So when we're in EFB, our body is going to efficiently burn fat, which is stored energy. It's going to access stored energy. See, what we're trying to do is we're trying to access stored energy. We're not trying to add any extra energy, okay, which is fat. We're trying to burn stored energy. And when we're in EFB, our body is going to burn that stored fat rather than unapproved oils, which we aren't doing, and rather than too much starchy and sugary carbs. Because our body, just like human beings, we always take the path of least resistance. Your body is going to go the path of least resistance as well. If you've got some easily accessible source of energy in there, it's going to use that first rather than getting to your stored energy. The whole goal in this is to get to the stored energy and burn it off. So if you don't use the wrong oils and then stick with the combinations, you got that. Okay, let's see. Amanda is asking a question. Is butter not approved because of the fat count? Yes, that's right. Okay, let's look at this. What is the fat bus? So you've kind of started to get a picture of what the fat bus is during everything that I've said tonight. But insulin, just as a reminder, is a hormone. It's specifically a growth hormone that is focused on fat storage. After an insulin release, fat storage will occur for up to 48, I do that because for 48 hours. So for 2 days. See, that's why those 2 days, what's happening over those 2 perfect days is your body is getting rid of insulin. It's also getting rid of glycogen, which is an easily energy source. So after an insulin release, anything that you've eaten that's fat is going to get stored for up to 2 days. That's why it takes you 2 days to get back into EFB. Look at this. Bullet point number 3 is important for you to understand. Insulin also increases your appetite. So let's say that you've had a holiday and you're getting right back to your perfect day the very next day, but you've eaten breakfast and mid-morning you're a little hungry, and you weren't hungry in all your EFB days because you get over that hunger. You're a little hungry. I need you to pull this out as a strategy. Oh, I'm not really hungry. It's that insulin increasing my appetite. I'm going to ignore that and have myself a bottle of water and make it to lunch, because you want to get that out of your body so that you can get back into efficiently burning fat. And then at my last bullet point here says, after the fat bus has been on its rounds, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. So basically the neaf question is, what am I going to eat this week? I really need you to pull out old school paper, lined loose leaf paper, and I need you to write a list of your favorite 10 to 15 lean proteins and a list of your 10 to 15 favorite fibrous carbs. And then I just need you right underneath that to pick one thing from this list and one thing from this list, write it together. Chicken breast and broccoli plus MCT. 96% lean ground meat plus green beans plus MCT. Because if that's going to be your fastest fat burning meals, okay? So, and that's great. We want you to have, I truly believe you can lose 7 pounds in your first 7 days following this easily. And then you're going to lose more as you keep going, okay? You're going to mix and match. Then I want you to throw in some meal replacements for simplicity. In this busy world that we live in, most people are not going to get up and cook themselves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You got work and other things. So throw in a few meal replacements for simplicity. In the new member fast track group, there's a list of what I ate for my first 20 days. And I literally ate 30 Mighty Muffins in my first 20 days. The reason I did that was because 1, they tasted good. 2, it was a meal replacement. And 3, it kept me very full and satisfied, okay? So throw in a few meal replacements that you find that you like for ease and simplicity. And then just keep it super simple in the beginning, super simple. And then you'll branch out, okay? And then we also have recipes in the recipe library. Just make sure that you read how to combine them, because sometimes when you cook them, you need to also put them with a fibrous carb, and it'll tell you that. And then we also have restaurant stuff, and we're going to talk more about that tomorrow night. So there's in my mind, there's 4 different ways to eat food on this program. Just flat out combining whole foods. 2, meal replacements. 3, recipes. And 4, restaurants. And we'll teach you how to do all that. And then once you learn all that, you can just do it and live in a lifestyle, okay? All right, let's see. I will put once I finish this slideshow, I'll put the link in here, Monica, for you to click on and join the new member fast track group, okay? For everybody, I'll put that in there. And then let's see. Yeah, okay, so Shannon's asking, did you say that you ate a Mighty Muffin, and what is that? Yes, I ate a Mighty Muffin. And we sell them at the SHIBBOLETH store. We have a large variety of them, but I've also seen them at Walmart and Kroger and other places. They just have a limited variety. But it's just like a little muffin, and you can do several things with it. I find that if I'm in a hurry, you put a 1/4 cup of water in the mixture, and then I can microwave it for 45 seconds, and it's a muffin, and it's good. If I'm not in a hurry, I'll mix it up in there, and I'll pour it into 3 pancakes onto my griddle, and I will eat them like pancakes. So it's just a Mighty Muffin. It's just a little meal replacement. It's called a Mighty Muffin, and it's from a company called Flapjacked. Last thing we're going to go over. I want you to take advantage of our awesome resources, okay? So I kind of call SHIBBOLETH mentors, supporting mentors, backed by the SHIBBOLETH team, because our members support each other on all of our groups and everything, but we've got team members that monitor those groups and do mentor appointments. So I want you to make sure that you join the Facebook groups, the support groups, because those are important. Familiarize yourself with our awesome website, and you know how you're going to do that? watch my videos that come out in the new member fast track every day. It's my way to help you shorten your learning curve on how to use our website. And then I want you to make a getting started mentor appointment. But here's the thing, I don't want you to make your mentor appointment until next week. When you hop off of here, I would love for you to go to mentor.genbook.com and schedule your getting started appointment for next week. Because this week, I want you to focus in on fast track, and I want you to write down all the questions that you don't get answered this week, because then you can ask them on your mentor appointment. And we have Joni and Missy that pretty much do all of those mentor appointments, and they have been right where you are, and they have overcome, and they want us nothing more than to see you do the same thing. So they're awesome. And then participate in the fast track this week, okay? And I'm going to put that link in here. Welcome to the SHIBBOLETH family. We are here for you. We are here for you. And you are going to find that the value that you get out of SHIBBOLETH is way more than the small little cost that it took to get in here. I'm going to share my screen one more time, see if I can get so the new member fast track group, the cover page looks like this, y'all, looks like this. And I'm going to link it right here. So y'all go ahead, and we're about to head off. Okay, so I want y'all to go ahead and everybody click on that. And because as soon as I get off of here, I'm going right there and I will let people in. This video will also be posted there, as well as tomorrow night's link for you to go ahead and register for tomorrow night's link. Okay, webinar. Tomorrow night's webinar, we're going to go over simple food combining. We're going to go over condiments. We're going to go over hemp products a little bit more, and talk about MCT oil again. Just make sure everybody's got a good understanding of what's going on, and then we're just going to live the lifestyle. We're going to live the lifestyle. You're welcome, Alicia. You're welcome. And y'all click right there for me, because I'm going to hop off of here. And I don't want y'all to miss that. But it's, if you miss it somehow, it's called SHIBBOLETH New Member Fast Track. If you look for that on Facebook, you should find it. But I'm going to assume y'all have all clicked there, and I am hopping off. I'll see y'all. I'm going to say this. I'll see y'all on the Shibby Show in the mornings. If you go to the Silver group in the mornings, I do a little live Shibby Show. It's kind of like our own personal daily devotion and news thing. Normally I go in about 7:30. Tomorrow's going to be extra early because I got to be somewhere at 7. So it's going to be extra early tomorrow morning. All right. Bye, y'all.